I always tell people there are a million ways to make $1 million in real estate, but you do have to pick one. And what that means is that you can't constantly engage with this sort of shiny object syndrome. It takes focus. It takes taking action, focused action, right? So could you talk a little bit about sort of that shiny object syndrome and how to move away from that to having sort of peaceful, focused, focused mind, right? So you can take focused action.
Okay, so the question is the human mind like a monkey on crack?
Yeah.
That's one question.
Right.
And is it actually important to overcome shiny object syndrome and focus? Well, it depends if you want to be cause in your life. And I really mean that. I'm not setting this up. It's one way to enjoy life is just surrender and be with the flow. Wake up, check email, check voicemail, do what feels natural. That's a valid way to operate. And some of the teachers that I've followed speak a lot about don't do, just be. Now, I think there are times to do that. However, another game that's really great to play in life is being cause in the matter, being cause in how your relationships go, being cause in your own health and your energy, being cause in how your job goes in your career path, or cause in how much money your business makes and how many people you impact. Now, I'm a fan of that game a lot of the time, and that's where coaching comes in for me. Now, as human beings, I do believe the human mind has become like a monkey on crack. And if you disagree with me, just sit down this afternoon at some point, set the timer for 5 minutes and count your breaths. Close your eyes, count your breaths. See how many breaths you get to before you've drifted away. The mind is taken over. It's thinking about your socks or what you want to order on Amazon or some business problem or someone who insulted you or whatever. And now when it comes to, say, your own business, it's even worse because entrepreneurs can see all the opportunities. We see all the target markets we want to help, all the problems that we want to solve, all the solutions that we can come up with, and all the traffic sources we're going to try and use. It's overwhelming. Now, if you're happy to surrender or if entertainment is your goal, keep doing that. I really mean it. It can be fun. I've got days where I do that. But if you want, let's say you've got a goal of you want to double revenue in the next 12 months. Well, okay, if that goal matters to you, and maybe you want to double your time off, so you got more time to spend with your kids or write that book or go swim with dolphins or volunteer in prisons, whatever it is, then it starts to matter. And we need to actually focus so that we can be at cause. If you don't do it, you will be at the effect of life and you'll be bounced around with other people's agendas. Look, just check email in the morning and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Now you're working on other people's agendas. I caught myself this morning. I was just checking through for important emails. Yeah, right. That's so difficult. And then I found one and it required me to go to a website and just enter something to unsubscribe. And I'm like, wow, David, step away from the task. Let's get back to being at cause. So I have some recommendations. I'll give you a few tips to help you focus. And then at the end of the show, I'll give you a cheat sheet that's got the full checklist.
Perfect.
So firstly, you've got to know where you're heading. So 12 months from now, what are the goals that would have you do the happy dance should you achieve them? Like if you and I were talking 12 months from now, looking back and celebrating and you're dancing your ass off, what would those goals be? 3 big ones. You can have lots of little ones, but those should go in the drawer for when you've achieved the others, right? Because again, I had a client, I've got 20 goals. Is that too many? Like, yes. Have 3 goals that really matter, put the rest in a drawer, you'll pull them out when the others are done. All right, so that's tip 1. Tip 2, you got to layer the goals because a year out is way too long. It's pie in the sky. It doesn't mean anything. So bring it back and have the 3-month version. And then you need the 7-day version and what are you going to do tomorrow? So that's tip 2. Tip 3, that'll set you up for now. But what about next week? What about the next week, a week after? So super important. Have a date with yourself once a week. 20 minutes. That's all I'm asking for. 20 minutes with yourself where you look at what you did and celebrate. You can literally pat yourself on the back like I'm doing now. If you're watching the video, and say, good job. I sometimes do something and I say, David, you're a legend. Great job doing that. We need that because you probably did 10 times more than you think you did. Then the next part of that date is you look at your 3-month goals and you choose what you'll do for the next 7 days. This is what I will care about. All right. So those are 3 really important tips. Now, how do you stay on track with that? Let's suppose you do it. A lot of people put it in their calendar. They don't even show up for that date with themselves. I can't make you do that. That's where discipline comes in. Show up for the date. If I set it up for a while where if I did not create my weekly action plan by 1 o'clock Friday, Mountain Time, I had to pay $5 to somebody. That'll get your attention. So you set that up, but how do you stay on track? Tip 4 is book sprints in your calendar. You can't expect to be a focus 24/7. That's ridiculous. You got to tell your brain when it's time. So for example, Wednesday, I have no calls scheduled. So that's basically going to be a 6-hour sprint for me. But other days I might have a 2-hour block and I say, all right, I got 9 to 11. That's my sprint. I set the timer and I set 4 specific goals because it's 2 hours. That's too long. I said a year's too long. 2 hours is too long. So I need to know, what am I achieving in the first half hour, the second half hour, the third, and the fourth. And I got those 4 goals. And then I set the timer for 25 minutes. Game on. That's a sprint. That keeps me focused. Now you'll find when you start doing this, listeners, you might fall off the horse. Hey, that's fine. You get distracted. You're doing something else. Not doing what that goal is. It's written down. That's the monkey mind. Oh, I got caught up in email. Oh, someone came and knocked at the door. Yeah, you're going to have to learn how to guard that time jealously. Guard it. Put a sign on the door. Talk to your family. Let them know how important this is. Turn off all notifications, phone on airplane mode. These things and more covered in the full checklist.
I love the way that you talked about game on.
Yep. Game on. It's like a boss is waiting for your deadline, right? You are generating artificial accountability because if you have a boss that does it for you, okay, hey, I need this by Thursday, 3 o'clock. You're like working like crazy. You've got to do that for yourself. If you just say, all right, I got 3 hours, I'm going to work on my website. Oh, bad news. Working on your website is an infinite game.
Right.
But when you constrain the resources to 3 hours and then even further 25 minutes, and you've set a goal. So for example, when you and I are done with this, I have a coaching offer and I need to tweak it because someone's about to send an email to a lot of people because I just opened up a few coaching spots. So I'm going to do that. But working on the page is not a goal. Having the first draft done in 25 minutes is a goal. And then drafting the application form in 25 minutes is the second goal. And then having it finalized could be the third goal, for example. So those are some tips to help you tame the monkey mind and focus, also that you can be cause in the matter and be directional. The metaphor I like to use is it's fun to be adrift on the ocean, enjoying the sights, but it's also fun to set your sail, pick a direction, get hold of the steering wheel and say, the game is, I want to get from over here to over there. Game on.